Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. It's always such a pleasure to stand before an audience that wants to grow, to learn, to take life seriously. I want to begin with something very simple, but very profound. Time is more valuable than money. You can always get more money, but you can never get more time. Now, isn't that true? See, money is replaceable. Lose $1, you can earn another. But once a day slips away, it's gone forever. And if you let enough of them slip away, pretty soon you look back and realize the years have disappeared. When I was in my 20s, I thought I had all the time in the world. I was careless with it, wasting hours, wasting days, and before long I was broke, discouraged, and wondering why life wasn't working out. Then I met a man named Earl Schoff who became my mentor. He said to me, Jim, the problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is you're not using the time you already have. And ladies and gentlemen, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Because he was right. I was working hard, but I wasn't working smart. I was busy, but not productive. And there's a big difference between the two. Now let's fast forward to today's world. Back then, the big distraction was television. People would spend 4, 5, 6 hours a night just watching shows, flipping channels, entertaining themselves into oblivion. And my mentor would say, Jim, you've got to learn to turn off the television and turn on your life. Well, today, the television is still there, but now we've got something far more dangerous: endless scrolling, social media, notifications, news alerts, videos on demand. And people are glued to their screens. Hours and hours disappear every single day. Different tools, same danger, the danger of wasting time. Think about it. We live in the most connected, most advanced time in human history. We've got apps that can save us hours, devices that can organize our schedules, tools that can give us instant information. And yet, most people feel they have less time than ever before. Isn't that interesting? We have more technology to save time, but less discipline to use time wisely. So the question tonight is not how much time do you have. We all get 24 hours in a day. The question is, how well are you using your 24? See, discipline with time is discipline with life. If you waste the hours, you waste the years. If you master the hours, you master your destiny. Now let me give you a little formula that changed my life. Mr. Schoff told me, Jim, don't start your day until you have it finished. And I said, well, what does that mean? He said, it means don't start the day until you've planned it on paper. Don't trust your memory. Don't wing it. Take 5, 10 minutes and design your day before it begins. And ladies and gentlemen, when I began that little discipline, everything changed. Suddenly my days had order. My days had purpose. My days had direction. And when your days have direction, your life has direction. But if you don't run the day runs you. And isn't that the truth? You wake up, you've got no plan, and before you know it, the hours are gone. Somebody called, somebody texted, something came up. You scrolled a little too long, and suddenly it's midnight, and you're saying, where did the time go? Let me tell you where it went. It went to someone else's plan. It went to someone else's video, someone else's advertisement, someone else's priority. And if you keep giving your time away like that, you'll never build your own life. You'll just help build someone else's. So here's the big question. What are you doing with your time? Some people say, well, Jim, I'm just killing time. Be careful with that phrase. Killing time is suicide on the installment plan. Time is life. To kill time is to kill a piece of yourself. Now, I don't say you can't ever relax, can't ever entertain yourself, can't ever have fun. No. Life is meant to be enjoyed as well as lived. But here's the key. Don't spend major time on minor things. Don't let the small distractions rob you of the big opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how valuable your time is, ask someone who is running out of it. Ask the person in the hospital who wishes they had taken better care of their health. Ask the parent whose children grew up while they were too busy to notice. Ask the retiree who looks back and says, if only I had managed my time better. Time is precious, and once it's gone, it's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little more about distractions. Back in the 1970s and 80s, The big distraction was the television. Some people called it the income reducer. You know why? Because while you're watching it, it's watching your wallet. Hours and hours went by and people would say, well, at least I'm being entertained. Now listen carefully, it's okay to be entertained. But you can't be entertained for 12 hours a day and still expect to have a bright future. Some people spend more time planning their weekend than they do planning their life. That's a mistake. Now let's fast forward to today. Back then you had a TV with maybe 12 channels. Now you've got 12 million. You've got social media, streaming, endless scrolling. Back then, you lost an hour flipping channels. Today, people lose entire weeks swiping up. And isn't it funny? You sit down for just 5 minutes, and suddenly it's 2 a.m., and you're still watching videos of cats dancing. And then you say, I don't know where all my time went. I'll tell you where it went. It went to the cats. Now don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying don't enjoy your phone. Don't enjoy a good show. Don't watch a funny video. Life is meant to be enjoyed. But here's the key. Don't let fun rob you of your future. Don't major in minor things. See, the danger of distractions is not that they take all your time in one day. It's that they steal a little here, a little there. 15 minutes here, an hour there. And you think, well, that's not so bad. But add it up over a week, a month, a year, and suddenly you've thrown away hundreds of hours that could have built your skills, built your business, built your future. Let me give you an example. Suppose you waste just 1 hour a day. Doesn't sound like much, right? But that's 365 hours in a year. Divide that by a 40-hour work week, and you've just thrown away more than 9 work weeks. Imagine that almost 3 months gone just from an hour a day. Now here's the flip side. Suppose you invested that same 1 hour a day. Read a book, study your craft, work on your health, build your business. In 1 year, you're 9 weeks ahead of your competition. In 5 years, you're a master. In 10 years, you're unstoppable. And people will look at you and say, wow, you're lucky. And you'll say, no, I'm disciplined. Ladies and gentlemen, here's something I've learned. The difference between success and failure is not dramatic. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. And time is the stage where both play out. Now, some people tell me, but Jim, I just don't have the time. And I say, no, what you mean is you don't have priorities. You have the same 24 hours that everybody else has. Time is the great equalizer. The billionaire and the beggar both get 24 hours a day. The only difference is what they do with them. You can't buy more hours. You can't trade them. You can only use them or lose them. And once they're gone, they're gone. So let me give you a little humor with a lesson. Some people spend 3 hours a night watching shows about rich people while they themselves stay broke. Isn't that strange? I say, instead of watching rich people on television, get busy becoming one? Some people say, but Jim, I need to keep up with the news. Okay, but let me caution you. You don't need to spend 4 hours a day watching it. You can get the summary in about 15 minutes. Any more than that, and the news isn't informing you anymore. It's depressing you. So here's a rule: be a student of what matters, not a spectator of what doesn't. Now here's the exciting part. You don't have to eliminate every distraction in your life. You just need to control them. Have your fun, but with discipline. Watch the show, but after you've done your reading. Scroll a little, but after you've finished your work. The problem is not fun. The problem is letting fun become your full-time job. If you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize you become a professional consumer instead of a professional creator. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a title you want on your resume. So the challenge here is simple. Audit your time. Take a notebook and for 1 week, write down where every hour goes. And I promise you, you'll be shocked. You'll say, did I really spend 9 hours this week on my phone? Yes, you did. Did I really spend 10 hours this week watching shows I don't even remember? Yes, you did. But here's the good news. Once you see it, you can change it. And that's the power of awareness. Because when you know where your time is going, you can start directing it where you want it to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move from the problem to the solution. If distractions are the thief of time, then discipline is the guard at the door. You've got to learn the disciplines that protect your hours, that protect your days, because if you lose the day, you lose the future. Now here's the first discipline: plan your day. My mentor, Mr. Schaaf, said, "Jim, don't start your day until you have it finished." That means don't wake up and just let life happen to you. Sit down the night before and put it on paper. What are your top priorities? What's important? What must be done? Because if you don't plan your day, somebody else will. And let me tell you, they don't have your best interest at heart. A day without a plan is like a ship without a captain. It just drifts wherever the wind blows. But when you write it down, when you design it, suddenly you're in charge. And that little discipline, 5 or 10 minutes with a pen and paper, and can change the course of your entire life. Now, here's the second discipline: learn to say no. Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Most people want to be liked. They don't want to disappoint anyone. So they say yes to everything, every invitation, every request, every little distraction that comes their way. But ladies and gentlemen, if you say yes to everything, you're saying no to your own future. Let me give you a little humor here. Somebody says, "Jim, can you come over and watch TV with us for 3 hours?" You say, "No, I'm busy building my empire." They'll laugh, but that's okay. When you're living your dreams and they're still flipping channels, you'll have the last laugh. Don't be rude, but be firm. Value your time enough to protect it. Remember, every yes to nonsense is a no to your goals. Now here's the third discipline: invest your time in personal growth. Time is not just for working and surviving. Time is for becoming. Every day you've got to ask yourself, what am I becoming with the hours I'm spending? Because you can waste time, you can spend time, or you can invest time. Wasting time is obvious: distractions, procrastination, idle chatter. Spending time is necessary: working, commuting, doing what has to be done. But investing time is the key. Reading, studying, exercising, writing, building relationships. Those are investments that pay dividends for a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour of reading a day may not seem like much, but in 1 year, that's 365 hours. That's enough to put you in the top 5% of knowledge in almost any field. And all it took was a little discipline with your time. Now, let me share a simple formula with you. If you'll spend more of your time on what is important and less on what is urgent, your life will change dramatically. The urgent always screams for your attention. The phone rings, the notification pops up, the email comes in. But the important, it whispers. Your health whispers. Your relationships whisper. Your personal development whispers. And if you ignore the whispers long enough, they'll become screams. So discipline yourself to focus on what's important before it becomes urgent. Don't wait for the health scare before you start exercising. Don't wait for the financial crisis before you start saving. Don't wait for the relationship breakdown before you start listening. That's the power of time discipline. Now let's talk about evenings. Evenings are powerful. Most people finish their day, plop down, and waste the night away. But the evening hours can build your empire. You work your job during the day, that's survival. But what you do at night, that's what builds your future. So I tell people, use part of your evenings for learning, for creating, for building. Write a book, take a course, study your field, start a side business. Don't just watch television or scroll your phone until bedtime. Discipline your evenings, and in 5 years, you won't recognize yourself. Here's another discipline: record your progress. Keep a journal. Don't use your head as a filing cabinet. Your head is for ideas, not storage. Write things down. Track how you spend your time. Write down what you learn each day. Write down your goals, your failures, your lessons. Because the act of writing disciplines your thinking, and disciplined thinking leads to disciplined living. And let me add this: don't think you need giant blocks of time to change your life. 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there. A little time invested daily is enough to create extraordinary results. The secret is consistency. Small disciplines practiced daily beat big efforts done occasionally. So ladies and gentlemen, Here are the disciplines we've covered. Plan your day, learn to say no, invest in personal growth, focus on the important, use your evenings wisely, and record your progress. Simple. Yes, easy, not always. Worth it, absolutely. Because the truth is this: if you don't manage your time will manage you, and you may not like where it takes you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of something very important. Success and failure are both little by little. You don't fail overnight, and you don't succeed overnight. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And time is the soil where both grow. Now here's the danger. We often think it's just a little time wasted, just a little procrastination, just a little delay. But little by little adds up. An hour wasted today, an hour wasted tomorrow, and soon you've lost weeks, months, years. On the flip side, a little time invested each day creates mastery. 15 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of exercise, 1 hour of focused work. Doesn't sound like much, but compounded over time, it builds a life you can be proud of. The years are going to pass anyway. 5 years from now, you'll arrive. The question is, where? At a destination of your own design, or at a place you drifted into by default. Here's the key: don't just count the hours, make the hours count. So my challenge to you tonight is simple. Stop saying, it's just a little, because a little wasted every day can destroy you, but a little invested every day can transform you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the magic of time. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about time, the most precious resource you will ever have, more valuable than money, more valuable than possessions. Because once it's gone, it's gone. You don't get to recycle today. You don't get to borrow tomorrow. All you get is 24 hours, and then the clock resets. The question is, what are you doing with yours? Any day you wish, you can change it all. You can decide no more wasted hours, no more drifting, no more neglect. From this moment on, you run the day instead of letting the day run you. So here's my challenge tonight before you go to bed. Take 10 minutes. Write down how you'll spend tomorrow. Guard your hours like gold. Protect them, invest them, multiply them. Because in the end, discipline with time is discipline with life. And if you master your time, you master your future. Ladies and gentlemen, don't just let life happen to you. Design it, discipline it, and build a future so strong that when you look back, you can say with pride, I made my time count. Thank you, and God bless.